Welcome back. You've joined riders from the HOG Auckland Chapter, and this is one of our Saturday rides. We're leaving from North Auckland Harley-Davidson over at Takapuna, and this was recorded last Saturday, and I think I'll always remember this ride as the one that got away, which is a bit of a shame. Let me tell you the story. So we'd had some pretty awful weather earlier in the week, some serious rain, and the forecast was looking a little bit flaky until Saturday came along and the forecast said expect fine weather. Well, looks like everybody else saw this message as well. We've had to cancel a few recent Saturday rides. This one got off the ground and around about 30 riders turned up, 30 bikes, and a number of pillions as well. So it was pretty well attended. Now this ride was led by Road Captain Murray, and he had mapped out a route for us heading out to Silverdale to the Northern Union pub via a whole lot of routes around out west, which we were looking forward to very much. He was looking for a tail end Charlie. I put my hand up, and so I'm riding at the rear of the group, and let me tell you, it's a pretty good feeling riding behind a big group of Harleys like this, especially as we come onto the motorway or travelling along. Formation gets formed and it feels pretty nice. We're riding along in a pretty orderly fashion, using only one lane of the motorway, staggered formation as we would normally do. And the rumble is happening good. We've got some sunshine coming on us. Life is good. That wasn't how it was to remain, unfortunately. What became of this particular ride? It went a little bit pear-shaped, about 30 minutes in, maybe not even that long, where we had a situation where a corner marker didn't hold the corner until the tail end Charlie came along, and in that case, when the system breaks down, that's when the ride becomes a little bit chaotic and you get people that are falling away from the main group, and that's certainly what happened. But in the meantime, let's just enjoy what we've got of the ride. We'll only keep recording up until we get to on the way to the Coatesville Riverhead Highway, which is about where things went a little bit wrong. And we'll just enjoy what we're seeing now, and that is that the ride is heading up the Northern Motorway. We're just about to get off at the Otiha Valley Road intersection, which is the last of our motorway riding for this particular ride. And we're heading now towards the Albany village. And one of the calls there from Murray is that we're going to have a regroup at the top of the Albany Hill once we've gone through the village. Now, for anybody not familiar with the Albany area, this is, I guess, recently developed in the scheme of things. Probably about 30 years ago, this was not as developed as it is now. In fact, about 40 years ago, a mate of mine lived along here, and it was pretty much a gravel road. It was way in the back of beyond, so it's been developed quite some. Behind us is North Harbour Stadium, which plays host to a lot of sporting events, mostly focusing on the oval ball game, rugby and rugby league, 15s and 7s, international, domestic competitions. Rugby World Cup's been had there. They also play football. Rugby league games have played there, and a number of concerts have played there as well, with big international bands coming through and playing there. So it's pretty well utilised. But anyway, we're not going there today. We're heading up the hill. We've just passed through the Albany village and heading past the Albany pub on the right hand side here. This is where we had a ride stop during a video of a few weeks back, a month or two perhaps. Now, so far this ride is a pretty orderly event. Everything is happening as it should. Quarter markers have stayed on the corners until tail end Charlie has come up, and we're very soon going to have the first, in fact for me the last, of the regroups of the group at the top of this here hill, the Albany Hill, just as we go past a big roundabout where if you turn left you head down towards Coatesville Riverhead. Straight ahead you head right into the heartland of Derry Flat, and that's where we're going. Just ahead you can see the rest of the riders group on the side of the road. Tail end Charlie, got to come up past. The road captain will be at the front. Give him the thumbs up. Let him know, yep, we're all here. It's the last time I'll get that sign from me on this ride. But anyway, it is what it is, unfortunately. I really do wish I'd managed to see this ride through. Now it's kind of a country open road around here, so rather than coming to a full stop and let the riders go past me, I'm just doing a small rolling. Carry on here, let everybody pass me, but I don't have any problem in getting up to speed, getting in the way of potentially cars coming behind me. So just taking a look at all the bikes that are going past and waiting till I can see the last rider who I remember from when we came up to the group. And when I see him, I'll know that we're all there, and I can just join the ride at speed and carry on as before. And pretty soon now we'll see Gary come on by. There he is. I'll slot in behind him and we're all back together again, just as we should be. Now we take a turn up here at Potter Road. Potter Road will, if you stay on it, it will just keep going and turn into Sunnyside Road. It'll pop you out right in the middle of the Coatesville Riverhead Highway. It's a pretty nice road. There's lots of interesting nooks and crannies around this road, some nice corners, a lot of bush, some straight bits as well. It's got plenty to keep you interested on this particular ride. And by all rights, there should have been a lot more interesting footage to come. I do manage to include a dual one-lane bridge situation that's coming up. It's quite interesting, but once we lost contact with the main group, it was really a case of just trying to gather up everybody and then make decisions about what we're going to do. I spoke with Murray. We found out that we were quite some way distant from each other. We tried to catch them up, but couldn't rejoin them. We had to make our own ride on the way back. Led about 5, then became 4, then became 3, rolled into the Northern Union later in the day. We arrived there about 5-10 minutes after Murray and the main group had arrived. It was a shame we lost some riders along the way, just through heading off home or just saying, well, okay, that's enough for me, it's a sign, and heading away. Bit of a shame because it was a really good ride. Murray put some real effort into getting the ride sorted out. Those people that were on the ride did have a good time. There was some waiting on the side of the road, not so much for me and my little lost band, because we just kept on riding quite a long way before we stopped and tried to figure out how we can rejoin the group. And then we had to really push it along because we were quite some way distant from the last known position of Murray and the main group. So yeah, it just wasn't meant to be. We were too far away to really realistically join up. Anyway, there is a lesson to be learned here, and that is, if you're a corner marker, if you're marking the corner, please hold your position until the tail end Charlie comes along and gives it the all clear to go. Because if you don't, then the ride just turns to chaos. Anyway, on that note, we'll wrap this one up. Wish you all safe riding out there. Take care. Have fun. See you in the next one.